The Bucs were blown out on Sunday 38-3 against the division rival New Orleans Saints on Sunday Night Football. One of the biggest questions heading into this week's game against the Carolina Panthers is how are the Buccaneers going to bounce back? How will they react to losing in such a way? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. The history of the Bucs and bouncing back in games in which they've lost by 25 points or more. Believe it or not, the Bucs have won 19 times just a week after losing by 25 points or more. And in today's video, we're going to dive into all 19 of those games. The first of those bounce-back games came in 1979. After a 5-0 start, the 79 Bucs had a rough couple weeks, including a Week 7 loss to the Saints, 42-14. The Bucs' number 1 ranked defense gave up 234 rushing yards and were bullied up and down the field. All 42 of the Saints' points came in the second half. Just 1 week later, the Bucs bounced back with a huge victory of their own, 21-3 over the division rival Green Bay Packers. Ricky Bell ran for a then team record 167 rushing yards as the Bucs improved to 6-2 on the season. Next up was the Repus Bowl. Repus is super spelled backwards, as the almighty 1-11 Buccaneers hosted the 1-11 Houston Oilers. The Bucs were coming off a 27-0 loss to the Chicago Bears in front of an empty Tampa Stadium and bounced back with 3 interceptions off of quarterback Oliver Luck, the CEO of the XFL and Andrew Luck's father, while the throwing Samoan Jack Thompson threw 4 touchdown passes en route to a 33-24 win and a second win of the season in 1983. In 1985, the Bucs gave up a team record 62 points to the New York Jets. They gained 587 yards of offense. 587. A week later, the Bucs came out victorious with a 19-16 overtime victory over the Lions in quarterback Steve Young's first career start for only one of 2 wins in 1985. Oh yeah, this game also featured this play.
That penalty has him very close to the goal line.
First and 18, and Eric on the rollout. Oh! Eric Hipple. He is bombed by Scott Brantley, and he's hurt.
Hipple had nothing left to do. Watch 52. What contact. That's Scott Brantley, known for his ferocious hitting. And
the Bucs opened 1988 with 5 Vinny Testaverde interceptions and a 41-14 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. A week later, Donald Igwebuike was yet again kicking a game winner on the road, this time at Lambeau Field in a 13-10 win over the Green Bay Packers.
Here it is. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, on a field goal by Donald Igwebuike, have given Ray Perkins a victory.
1991 featured 2 games with bounce-back wins to blowout losses. After losing in Detroit to the eventual NFC Central champs 31-3, the Bucs stunned the Eagles in a come-from-behind victory 14-13, which saw the Bucs score 2 touchdowns with less than 5 minutes to play. It was the first win of 1991. Later in the year, the 2-13 Bucs closed out the 91 season with a 17-3 win over the 1-14 Indianapolis Colts. It was called the Super Bowl II by Chris Berman on NFL Primetime.
Super Bowl II. The 1-14 Colts at the 2-13 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
In 1992, the Bucs were coming off a 35-7 loss to the Minnesota Vikings and were taking on another division foe, the Chicago Bears, at home. The Bucs had a 20-point halftime lead vanish as the Bears scored 17 unanswered second-half points. Luckily for the Bucs, Bears kicker Kevin Butler's kick sailed wide to the left as the Bucs secured their 4th win of the season. After an 0-3 start and a 47-17 loss at Soldier Field to start the 1993 season, the Bucs got off the schneid with a 27-10 win over the Lions. Running back Reggie Carr ran for 113 yards, and 2 key interceptions from defensive backs Darren Anderson and Joe King gave the Bucs a convincing first win of the year. A year later in 1994, following a 30-3 loss at Lambeau Field, the Bucs did it to Detroit yet again, this time with a 24-14 victory at Tampa Stadium. Despite 166 rushing yards from Barry Sanders, the Bucs did enough to control the clock and come away with the win. This game also included the first punt return touchdown in Tampa Bay Buccaneers history. Insert Vernon Turner.
Turner is back. Good rush.
rush. Just gets it off with a beautiful high kick. Turner at his own 19. Crosses the 30. Still going. Turner's got some room. He's got one man to beat. No flags. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Vernon Turner, an 81-yard return. The first ever punt return for a touchdown in Tampa Bay history.
The Tony Dungy era started 0-5 in Tampa Bay. The Bucs were coming off a 27-0 beating from the Detroit Lions and were hosting the 5-1 Minnesota Vikings. The Bucs walked away with a huge 24-13 upset victory and Tony Dungy's first win as a head coach. Receiver Rob Thomas caught a pair of touchdowns, and Mike Allstott had his first of 78 career touchdowns.
Wilfer off the play fake, looking for Allstott, has him, and Allstott inside the throw, fighting. He got it into the end zone, touchdown. What an effort by Mike Allstott. Oh my, can you believe that?
The Bucs have never played well in cold weather. It wasn't quite under 40 degrees, the dreaded mark in which the Bucs had never won, but it was close enough. A chilled 42. The Bucs lost to the Jets 31-0 despite only giving up 234 yards of offense in New York. Otis Smith had 2 pick sixes off of Trent Dilfer, and Leon Johnson added a kickoff return touchdown 101 yards to open the second half. After the 31-0 loss, just a week later, the Bucs dominated the Chicago Bears 31-15 to finish the 1997 season 10-6, assuring a playoff spot for the first time in 16 years. It was a beautiful day in Tampa Bay to cap off one of the best seasons in Buccaneers history. Yes, 1999 actually makes this list. Another one of the greatest teams in Bucs history. 79's been included, 97's been included, and now 99. The Bucs finished the last 9 games of the 1999 season 8-1. Their only loss during that streak was a Week 15 game on the road in the Black Hole. The John Gruden-led Oakland Raiders embarrassed the Bucs 45-0. Tony Dungy assured everyone they would bounce back, and that's exactly what they did a week later over the division rival Green Bay Packers at home in a 29-10 victory. Damian Robinson was the defensive MVP with a pair of interceptions and a huge fake punt conversion. Mike Allstott had 2 huge fourth-quarter touchdowns to seal it. The Bucs would come just 5 points shy of the Super Bowl in '99, and the Burt Emanuel rule makes Bucs fans sick to this day. The Bucs fell to 9-5 after an ugly 28-0 loss in Foxborough to the Tom Brady-led Patriots in 2005. The following week, the 9-5 Bucs had a massive divisional game against Michael Vick and the division rival 8-6 Atlanta Falcons at Raymond James Stadium. The game was as back and forth as you'll ever see. Clutch 4th-and-1 touchdown run with just 25 seconds remaining tied the game at 24 and sent it into overtime. Adele Shepard, the same man who dropped the game-tying score against the Redskins in the wildcard game a couple weeks later, seemingly threw the game away when he fumbled the opening overtime kickoff. Dwayne White was the Bucs' savior as he blocked the game-winning field goal.
And here's the snap. It's down the tee. The blocked. Picked up. The Bucs have it at the 30-yard line. Tampa Bay has life. Yes, Virginia. There's a Santa Claus. Right up the middle. What a great job, Jim Terry.
Bucs kicker Matt Bryant had a couple chances to win the game in overtime. The first coming after this beautiful 30-yard pass from Chris Sims to Joey Galloway. Bryant missed a chip shot 27-yard field goal to win the game. After a couple nice drives by the defenses forcing a couple punts, returner Mark Jones had a great punt return, setting up the Bucs around midfield. Just a few plays later, Matt Bryant drilled this 41-yard field goal with just 16 seconds remaining to give the Bucs a massive victory. A week after that, the Bucs beat the Saints 27-13 at home and clinched the NFC South for number 1 in the division. The wildcard game didn't go so great the following week, but it was a great year in 2005. In 2009, the 0-7 Bucs were in search of rookie head coach Raheem Morris's first win. They had just been clobbered by the Patriots in London 35-7, and incoming were the Green Bay Packers. The Bucs were wearing the throwback creamsicle Bucco Bruce uniforms for the first time since 1996. Leroy Selmon was the first inductee into the Bucs Ring of Honor, and first-round pick Josh Freeman was getting his first career start. It was an eventful day in Tampa Bay. The Bucs did get the win, 38-28 in dramatic fashion. A 4th and 4 touchdown pass to Sammy Strotter in the back right corner of the end zone gave the Bucs the lead. Then this pick six by Tanar Jackson sealed an amazing victory.
Rodgers, nobody coming open, and that pass tipped and intercepted. Being brought back by Tanar Jackson, heading for the end zone, touchdown!
Josh Freeman finished the game with 3 touchdown passes, a blocked punt returned for a touchdown by Rondé Barber, and an 83-yard kickoff return by Clifton Smith put the special teams in on the fun as well. All around, it was a great win for the Young Bucs. Like 1991, not once but twice did we see the Bucs bounce back from brutal losses in 2010. The first came in weeks 3 and 5. The Bucs were destroyed at home by the eventual AFC champion Steelers 38-13. Then after a bye week, went into Cincinnati and walked away with one of the craziest Bucs wins you'll ever see. With just over 2 minutes to play, out of timeouts, the Bucs corner Aqib Talib came away with a massive interception off of Bengals quarterback Carson Palmer, setting up great field position at the 50-yard line. 5 plays later, Josh Freeman threw this beautiful touchdown pass to Mike Williams with just over 90 seconds to play. With just 25 seconds to play, the Bengals had the ball near midfield, and for the second straight drive, Palmer was picked off, this time by Savvy Piscatelli. Yes, of all people, Savvy Piscatelli. He returned the ball 31 yards to the Bengals' 34, and on the very next play, Michael Spurlock made this incredible sideline catch to set up a chip shot game-winning field goal from Bucs kicker Connor Barth. Barth booted it through, and the Bucs came away victorious with this improbable victory. The following week, the Bucs were destroyed yet again, 31-6 at home against the reigning Super Bowl champion Saints. 1 week later, the Bucs avenged themselves yet again with an 18-17 victory over the St. Louis Rams. In this one, we saw the emergence of rookie sensation LeGarrette Blount, who finished with 72 yards and a clutch 81-yard, 16-play game-winning drive orchestrated by quarterback Josh Freeman. A drive which ended in a Cadillac Williams touchdown reception with just 11 seconds to play. After the game, Raheem Morris stated the Youngry Buccaneers were the best team in the NFC. 1 year after defeating the 49ers at Candlestick Park 21-0, they followed with a 48-3 destruction against the new-look Jim Harbaugh-led Niners in 2011. The following week, the Bucs had a shot against the division foe Saints and came away with an exciting 26-20 victory. Drew Brees was intercepted 3 times, one by safety Tanar Jackson, who was playing in his first game since week 2 of 2010, and another was this clutch interception in the end zone by linebacker Quincy Black with the game on the line.
Backside. Intercepted. Quincy Black.
Aurelius Ben caught a 65-yard touchdown pass, and Preston Parker caught another. Quite possibly the player of the game was Mr. Underrated, Mr. Do-Everything, Ernest Graham, who was stepping in for starter LeGarrette Blount. Graham ran for over 109 yards. Week 3, 2014. A game that will forever live in infamy in Tampa Bay. The Bucs were nationally embarrassed in front of the nation on Thursday Night Football in Atlanta. It was just Lovie Smith's 3rd game as Bucs head coach, as we let the whole world watch the Falcons jump up to a 56-0 lead in the 3rd quarter. Had it not been for Atlanta letting up in this game, it could have easily been 70-0. But luckily the Bucs put a couple in the end zone to keep it just a little bit closer, and it ended up only a 42-point loss. Just 10 days later, the Buccaneers traveled to Heinz Field and shocked the football world. Nobody expected this one. A 27-24 win over the almighty Pittsburgh Steelers. The last drive of the game was a thing of beauty.
45 yards away. Down the middle of the field. It is caught! Murphy inside the 10 all the way to the 5-yard line. And now Glennon will race him up to the line of scrimmage and spike the ball, one would assume. This is unbelievable. Did he get it? Touchdown, Vincent Jackson, with 7 seconds to go.
This was one of only 2 wins in 2014 for the Bucs, but it will forever be one of the greatest upsets in Buccaneers history. Last but certainly not least, we have the Week 2 game of 2015. The Bucs were coming off an awful Week 1 performance, which saw first overall pick Jameis Winston throw a pick 6 on his first career pass and get completely outshined by the second overall pick, Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. Following week, the Bucs traveled to New Orleans, a team they had lost 7 consecutive games to dating back to 2011. Despite being 10-point underdogs, the Bucs came away with a massive division win on the road, 26-19. They led by as much as 23-7 at one point. Jameis Winston was the player of the game, and he served very well in his first career win. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thought I'd try something a little bit different for this one. So obviously the Bucs are coming off a 35-point loss this past Sunday, but we've bounced back before, and I fully expect them to bounce back on Sunday over the Panthers. Let's go get this win. Go Bucs.